How you going, people? Man, I'm kind of wishy-washy on this one. My gut is government needs to be held accountable, and this is not a justified shooting. But all the facts, according to the law, makes it kind of justified. But I still disagree with it. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you have to or you should. But let's take a look at this shooting. Happens quick.
Stay in the fucking car! Stay in the fucking car! Gonna be an X-ray driver. Pin her in!
When he says it's an X-ray driver, an X is a female.
Stay in the fucking car! You won't be shot! Keep your arms out!
Okay, so we have a female stuck at a fence, going back and forth. Bunch of cops yelling, keep your hands, get out of the car, keep your hands where I can see it, blah, blah. A lot of directions which the person in the car either can't hear, over the sirens running, over the bright lights, over the fence, over the clanging. So should officers have to know what they're saying is being heard before they shoot? Probably an unreasonable request, but not something that maybe you shouldn't consider.
Anyone have a 40? Anyone have a 40? 40.
Does anybody have a 40? He's not asking for a drink. Yo, man, he wants some malt liquor. No, he's not asking for a 40. He's asking for a 40 millimeter with a bullet round to possibly puncture the window or to take her out with less lethal. So his thought process is, can we go to less lethal? But that rapidly changes to, I'm going to shoot her for no reason. Well, not no reason, but it just, I don't think she needed to be shot.
I'm gonna shoot you if you don't stop!
I want to point out something else. She's trapped right here. It can only go back. Her front wheels are spinning. This is a clue for all you highly trained cops who are freaking so anxious to empty your guns on everybody. Maybe if one of you would have put your car here and pushed her into the fence and pinned that door closed, it would have gave you more time and took away her ability to move, to threaten you, and to climb out of the car, and then maybe you could have talked to her. Well, wait a minute, Rick, that's not our job. We just have to give her room to run, because then when she runs, we can shoot her and say she was running. All we got to do is give her room, and then when she hits us, we can say we were in fear of our life. It's just crazy, the shootings that are being justified now. So this car is pretty close, but he doesn't bump her in and trap her. Make contact. Freaking pansies now. They don't want to use their car to make contact. Oh, I don't want to scratch my pretty lights and my pretty car, you know. I don't want to scratch my little car. Whatever. They could have pinned her in easy and she didn't have to die. Even though she was a drug-using crankhead that was committing crimes. So it's not like we lost a freaking Einstein. But I'm not so much for who's getting shot. I'm for holding government accountable and making them abide by the law since they have so much power to kill at will.
Behind you. Copy. If she comes at me, I'm going to shoot her.
If she comes at me, I'm going to shoot her. So he's so scared that he has time to start talking to the other officers in the middle of this incident and relay that he's going to shoot her if she comes at him. Why did he feel the need to say that? Because he was justifying it. He wanted it on tape. And he said, if she comes at me. Does that mean turn her tires to you? Or actually hit you? Or actually become a threat? Because he's standing behind a car with a push bumper. And there's a metal pole there. So how close and how is she really a threat to him when he shoots? Not much in my book.
If she comes at me, I'm going to shoot her.
See, by letting her move, again, they're almost setting her up to where we've already told her we're going to shoot her. Go ahead and let her move. Then when she moves, we'll shoot her. Okay, we'll get to shoot. We'll get some time off. We'll be a hero. We'll put a notch on our gun. We can run around and tell everybody that I've been in a shooting and I shot somebody. I mean, it's just BS, man. I just can't believe. And I know somebody's going to be out there, well, Rick, she shouldn't have hit the fence, and she shouldn't have backed up into the car, and she shouldn't have ran, so she deserved what she got. That's not the point. If you allow cops to circumvent the law and do what they want, even when they're dealing with a piece of crap that doesn't matter, they get to circumvent the law and do what they want on anybody. Connect the freaking dots. It's about government power and accountability. Stop focusing on just, oh, well, it doesn't matter who gets killed if they're no good. If you do that, when somebody who shouldn't be killed gets killed, it's going to be too late. Kind of like the ones, when they started loading people on the train. A lot of people were like, well, they're not loading me. They're just loading my neighbors. We'll let them load them on a train. Next thing you know, they're getting on a freaking train. Okay, so here's where the gunshots open up. Exactly who is she a threat to right now? Who is she a danger of causing serious bodily injury? I know somebody's going to be here. Well, Rick, if she got away, she would endanger and put if and buts and coconuts. She didn't get away. She's trapped with here. They got patrol cars around her. They could easily box her in so she couldn't get away. Who right here feels that their life is in danger when she hits a car? Because this is when they open up with freaking multitude of shots. Oh, wait till I tell you the article that it's the wrong person. The cops think she was involved in a drive-by where people were shot. They don't see a gun. They haven't seen a gun, and she doesn't have a gun. And she's not the person involved in the drive-thru. But that's what the cops think. And so they shoot her, and the DA says it was justified. A female in a car with no gun ran into a cop car that wasn't occupied, surrounded by a multitude of cops with guns. And they said, if she comes at me, I'm going to shoot her. She doesn't come at anybody, and they shoot her and kill her. She's dead. Okay, so let's see what the DA said about this. So the DA, San Jose, and let me tell you, San Jose's been killing people unjustly for years. San Jose is the place where where they shot that dude, the wrong guy, standing there, and instead of paying him $5,000 like they pay most people if they shoot accidentally, he didn't want $5,000. He wanted the radio, so they went out and bought him a radio, and then they had him sign a release that he wouldn't sue the city, and he signed it for a radio when he could have got $5,000 or more. But anyway, San Jose. So let's see. San Jose officers killed a woman on Christmas morning, mistaking her for the suspect in an earlier shooting. Will not face criminal charges, according to the report by the Santa Clara District Attorney's Office. Prosecutor made a 75-second excerpt from the video. The video shows the officer screaming at Jennifer, 24, to stop and get out of the car when she crashed into a fence at an elementary school. So they say elementary school because somebody that doesn't see the video. Most people won't watch the video because they don't want to watch it. They'll say elementary school. Oh, well, they were protecting kids. It was at night, people. There were no kids there. So don't get confused by the bouncing ball that the media likes to throw at you to keep you freaking off balance because they know you only got 2 brain cells. Vasquez is shown rocking the car back and forth, ramming in a police vehicle. They went under a lot of controversy, especially once they learned that she was not involved in the crime that led the police to stop her earlier. Now, she wasn't, and this is typical San Jose, typical diversity is our strength cities. They thought she was involved in a shooting when in fact she was driving a stolen car under the influence of meth and had a warrant. But that's what they found out later. So everybody be like, oh man, she had a stolen car. Who cares? They killed her. That's not the point, people. The point is when an officer uses deadly force, he needs to be justified. And if he wasn't in fear of his life, then it's not justified. And to me, these officers were not in fear of their life. And it was justified. And that's wrong. Now, because they thought she was, remember I told you, it's in what's in the mind of the officers. Because they thought she was a suspect in a shooting, therefore they thought they were chasing a fleeing felon, therefore deadly force was authorized. And that's why they didn't even get into whether or not the officer was threatened. because she was a fleeing armed felon, and that's what the officer believes she was. They shot her, therefore the shooting is justified. I mean, it, every cop out there is a fleeing armed felon. If we want to start shooting them, you think those laws are going to apply to the citizens if they start shooting cops who are fleeing felons? I doubt it. Let's see. Dispelled reasonable suspicion. They thought it was an armed fleeing felon. Deputy District Attorney wrote in a report. Even after the crash, revealed that she was not going to be arrested, no matter what law enforcement would do. She was going to use that car in order to escape, and regardless for safety of others. So they're saying safety of others. I guarantee you, none of the cops shot her for safety of others. He even said, if she comes at me, I'm going to shoot her. If they were shooting her for the safety of others, why didn't they shoot her when she was trapped? Because she had a gun. Why didn't they shoot her then? Because they weren't shooting her because she was a danger to others. They were shooting her because he said, if she comes at me, protection of myself, I'm going to shoot her. 4 cops shot her, by the way. I didn't even see where the other 4 cops were standing. They were probably on the other side of cars. Hell, one of them could have been in a helicopter. Well, I thought maybe she would have hit something and it would have flown up and hit the helicopter and we could have crashed. So I was fearing my life, so I shot her from the helicopter. It's just freaking crazy. Anyway, when I said I'm on the fence on this, it just bothers me a little bit because you just I don't like the way the law enforcement is going now with the everything is okay. No matter what the shooting, no matter what happens, there's ways to justify it. We can get around it. So that's a different video. Sorry, wrong one. This one. You can argue it out. Look, it's easy to justify bad behavior. Okay, you don't point to bad behavior. Well, she was in a stolen car and under the influence of methamphetamine, and she had a warrant. Well, you can't shoot people for all those things. You can't shoot people for stealing a car. You can't shoot people for being on the influence of meth, and you can't shoot them because they have a warrant. You can shoot them if they're a fleeing felon, and you can say that they're a danger to others, which in this case, it's a little iffy that if she got away, she would have put people on the streets in danger. So, but it doesn't look like she's getting away. She's pinned between this car and this pole and the cops behind her. So, if she's not getting away, where was the threat and why did they have to shoot her? I just don't get this. And I know I got a lot of cop haters come here like, I'm unsubscribing. You're just hating on cops. Look, if you're defending bad shootings just because you're a cop and they're a cop, well, then you're a freaking idiot. I don't care if you're on the channel or not. I mean, this is for thinking people who can actually reason and justify and understand the law and use the law to protect themselves and to hold government accountable. And in this case, although legal, and the DA said it was legal, so nobody's charging them, so it's legal. Whether or not it's legal or not, the DA said it was legal. And DAs have immunity, so they can charge who they want and who they don't. And they don't charge cops, which is why cops are shooting without accountability wildly on every stinking shooting I see. They are just emptying their clips and not giving a crap about where the rounds are going. So when I said I was on the fence, I don't think if I was there, I would not have shot her. And I've been on these situations, so I don't want some freaking rookie cop here who's out here wrote 3 tickets and did 1 traffic stop coming here. Oh, you need to put on a uniform and get out there and do the job. Shut up, you freaking idiot. I've forgotten more about law enforcement than you idiots coming here commenting. I've been on these situations several times, and we don't shoot people because they ram our car because they're trying to get away. We actually only shoot when and if we have to as a last resort when it's really necessary. And that's what all governments should be doing. But that's my opinion. Who the hell am I? Hell, YouTube's always trying to suppress me, so they don't even like me when I agree with them. But anyway, we'll end that there.